they pit science detectives in Europe and America against each other in a $10 billion race to solve the riddle of what you, me, and everything around us is really made of. It's a journey into the heart of matter, plunging into the core of our physical being and of the physical world itself. But will this journey into the subatomic universe revolutionize our understanding of nature? Or will it reveal just how little we really know about who we are and what we're made of? Space, time, life itself. The secrets of the cosmos lie through the wormhole. What are we really made of? You, me, everything around us. That simple question has kept people guessing for thousands of years. In ancient times, the answer was easy. Everything in creation was made from one or more of the four elements: earth, air, fire, and voice. When I was a kid, in not quite so ancient times, we were told that everything is made out of atoms. But in the last few decades, scientists have looked inside the atom. Despite all of our knowledge, we still don't understand the true nature of matter. But right now, thousands of investigators are following hunches, tracking down suspects, and getting closer than ever to learning how we and everything around us fits together. And they're doing it by breaking things apart. When I was 6 years old, my father gave me his old pocket watch, a timekeeper. How does this work, I wondered. I decided to find out. Taking it apart was a lot easier than putting it back together. But I learned a little about what makes things tick. And that's pretty much what particle physicists do today. They smash things up and look at the debris through extremely powerful microscopes.
We do what kids do. We smash things, and we look to see what comes out. And so to do that, we need to smash things harder and harder and harder to see what's smaller and smaller and smaller.
At Chicago's Argonne National Laboratory, Bob Stack builds machines that peer into the subatomic world.
So this is our advanced photon source, a microscope that's about a half a mile around, and it contains 33 stations where 33 individual experiments can go on, measuring tiny structures of whatever these guys feel happy measuring. If you remember way back in high school, when you looked through the microscope and you said, wow, look at all that stuff, how neat it is. It's amazing that ordinary light and optics can bring you to such a detailed level. However, for a lot of things nowadays, you need more than just that ordinary light. You need to get smaller and smaller and smaller. With the APS, we can see things much smaller than we can see with our standard microscope. We can see things a factor of 10 smaller, a factor of 1,000 smaller, a factor of 10,000 smaller. In fact, we can see things that are 10 to the 10th smaller than what we could see with ordinary light. We can see molecules. We can see viruses. We can almost see the structures of life.
The ability to take pictures of molecules and atoms is an incredible thing, because only 100 years ago, the atom was just a theory. At the dawn of the 20th century, it was believed that if atoms existed at all, they were either empty shells or solid little balls. Then one investigation changed everything. It was the brainchild of Ernest Rutherford, the Sherlock Holmes of particle physics. Steve Nunn is a professor at MIT and a team leader on the world's biggest particle accelerator, the Large Hadron Collider in Europe. Steve is going to reproduce one of the most important experiments in the history of science, Rutherford's probe into the structure of the atom.
This experiment is the same as Rutherford's experiment. We use the same kind of gold foils and send millions of particles through these gold foils. Rutherford thought that all particles would essentially go straight through and not deflect at all, but that's not what happened.
The Rutherford experiment is like firing bullets at a haystack. The particles, like bullets, and the atoms in the gold foil are like haystacks. If the haystack is empty, the bullets go straight through it. If the haystack is packed with cannonballs, all the bullets bounce back. If there are a few cannonballs in the center, some of the bullets will bounce back. And that's what happened. When Rutherford fired his particles, most went straight through, but some sharply bounced back to the center of the target, upending the conceived wisdom of the time. Something small and hard was down in there, deep inside the shell of the atom.
This is the evidence for a very heavy, very small object at the core of the atom, the high-density nucleus surrounded by a vastness of empty space.
In fact, the nucleus of an atom is 100,000 times smaller than its radius. It's equivalent to the head of a pin in the middle of a football stadium. After Rutherford, physicists probed further into the atom. They found that it is built out of three parts: the protons and neutrons that form the nucleus, and the electrons that form the shell around it. Between them, they make up atoms. Atoms stick together and form molecules. Out of the molecules, we get more complex shapes, from a strand of DNA up to the 7,000 trillion atoms that form a human body. For a time, the atomic theory of the universe seemed to explain most everything. But then physicists started breaking atoms apart, and they discovered a slew of mysterious new particles that turned their theories upside down. The most frightening was called antimatter, matter's evil twins. If just this much touches ordinary matter, it will level the city. So why are scientists trying